the radio show everybody listens to.
It's a party! Everybody's here!
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tony Kimmel, and welcome to Road Trip After Hours. Please welcome your hosts, MadMacDavis and WWE Hall of Famer, Teddy Long. Holler!
Again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, MadMacDavis, along with my WWE Hall of Famer co-host, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
Hey, what's going on, Professor Matthew Davis?
I'm a professor now. Hey,
Professor Matthew Davis. Okay, Mac,
you've got a special guest for us today, Teddy. I want you to see if you can introduce her to us.
Oh yeah, man, I'm really excited about it too. You know, early in the week, you know, you and I were talking, and we were talking about a guest, and we really wasn't, you know, just messing around, you know. And I'm like, yeah, we gotta have a guest, and so I thought about Savannah, and because I've known her for so many years, man, and I watched her struggle, I watched her go through the bad times and the good times, and right now I think the tables have turned for her. You know, she's doing great big things, and I think her time has finally come, and I'm just so happy for her. And I thought that we would have her here on the podcast, on the show, to let everybody know, you know, just exactly who she is and what she's doing. So, you know, if we could get right into it. Savannah Evans, I know y'all know her players. How you doing today, baby girl?
Hey, Teddy, how are y'all?
We're doing good. Let me ask you, just kind of off the bat, I know you're currently in TNA Impact Wrestling. Can you tell us who you're aligned with right now, what your focus is, who you want to hit inside Impact?
Yeah, definitely. So right now I'm paired up with Giselle Shaw and Jay Vidal. So we are the Shantaraj. We're just always wanting the spotlight. I, of course, am the heavy, you know, the backup, the big muscle. So whatever shenanigans go down, you know, I'm there to kind of regulate the situation. So that's our group, and we're just currently after everybody. So we would love to mix it up with all of the tag teams. Right now they have pretty much all of the knockouts grouped into tag teams. So we can always mix it up with tag matches or singles matches, you know what I mean? So, I mean, just anybody and everybody, we're here to kind of show, you know, what we're made of, and we're the biggest and the baddest. So we'll take on anybody. And I would love to mix it up with any of the knockouts.
And I'm not going to ask too many more questions about that until towards the end of the show, because I want to make sure that we get along nice and happy right now. Tell me this, Savannah, how did you get over to TNA Impact? What kind of road did it take you to get there?
So by the time I was first coming in to Impact, to soon to be TNA, I had already been, you know, wrestling, I think about 6 or 7 years. So the road was just, you know, getting the reps in, getting experience on the indies, that kind of thing. And Tommy Dreamer actually was the one that brought me up to Impact about having me come in. I had met him, you know, on some independent shows. We'd worked together at like PWX, and then I think another show in Tennessee. And, you know, every time he saw me, he was always giving me advice, like, well, work on this, work on that, you know, get better at this. And you just let me know, you know, each time I see you, you did improve on the things that, you know, I talked to you about. So that definitely impressed him. And he thought I would be good for this, you know, big bodyguard role. For at the time, it was Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan were teamed up, and they needed the big breakup for that. So I was the one to, you know, to bust that up and become Tasha's new heavy. So he had pitched me for that idea, and, you know, they liked it, and that's where it really got started.
Yeah, and that, yeah, I want to say something about that. And that's one thing too that I like about Tommy Dreamer. He's not a selfish person, you know what I mean? He doesn't forget about people. And just what she said, he's been watching her every time he sees her on the indie. He gives her some points on how to, you know, what to do. And he kept thinking about it. And finally, you know, he said, hey, well, I've got somebody for that. And he brought her right on in, man. And so thank you, Tommy Dreamer, and thank all the guys at TNA Impact, you know, for giving Savannah the opportunity, because she's been deserving it, you know, but with this business, it's a waiting game. but she's been patient. And I mean, I've watched her. She's been patient. Like I said, I've seen her in the bad times and I've seen her in the good times. And basically, I think these are the good times. But Savannah, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you one other thing. And I don't know this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the fans don't know. How did you get started?
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people get started in wrestling. I feel like they get interested in wrestling at a young age. But I guess I was kind of like not the typical. I got into watching wrestling maybe about like 12, 13. So Attitude Era. And I loved that. And I loved, all the crazy stuff that was going on during that. So I wanted to be a wrestler. I just didn't know how to go about it. I finished college and moved to Charlotte. And there was a wrestling school, the High Spots Wrestling School here in Charlotte. And I met George South, Mr. Number One, legendary George South. And trained with him and Caleb Conley, and then Cedric Alexander. So that's how I mainly got started. Like my roots, I guess, are Southern roots, those Southern basics. And that's where it really started, I stood out because I was a taller girl. A lot of the girls, not just at the time, but I guess in general, are a little bit shorter. So I stood out that way, and then they saw something in me. And, I'm thankful that everyone just kept working with me to get better and better.
Yeah, well, that's good. I always wondered that, but and from what you just said there too, you've been real lucky, because you started out with some good people there, George South,
Yes.
all those guys that really know how to work in this ring, and so you were able to learn from some of the best. So I just think God has blessed you, and I'm just so happy for you. I know you got several things coming up at WrestleCade. Tell us about that. What are you going to be doing there?
Yeah, so I love WrestleCade. It's my favorite convention of the entire year. So this year, I have a pretty packed schedule. So on Friday, I was asked by rapper Montezi, who does a lot of the entrance musics for wrestlers. He asked me to do his live podcast on Friday. So that's what I'll be doing Friday. I think it's 2:00. Check my social media for the details, but 2:00. And then after that, I'll be signing for the rest of the night. Saturday, I have the signing the first half of the day. And then on Sunday, we have Ladies Night Out, which is run by Title Match Network. It's all women's show. So I'll be on that as well. So, if anyone that's going to be down there, it starts the day after Thanksgiving. But if anyone's going to be in Winston-Salem, please come down, check it out. Tickets are still available.
And I can tell you're going to be real busy there that weekend there. You got your schedule is full, but that's great, man. That is absolutely fantastic. Great for you. Mac, you got anything else for Savannah?
I do, Savannah, and I don't want to end it on a bad note, but I do want to bring this up. First of all, I just got to know. First of all, describe Savannah Evans to me right now. Who is she? Uh-oh, we can't hear. We lost your. Oh, she popped out. Teddy, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you.
She'll be back in a second.
Yeah, it says her phone left. That's what the notice I got. Well, see, let me tell you something. You caused that. Everything was just fine. This show was running smooth, okay? All of a sudden, here you... Now, well, I don't want to do this, but I just got to know.
She's right here. She just left for a second. That's all.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay. Technology.
I thought I was going to. I brought up. I was going to bring it on a bad note, and I figured you just hung up on me. But
I don't blame her.
Done. Click.
But what I was asking is, can you describe who Savannah Evans is in TNA?
Okay, yeah. That's why I hung up, because I didn't want to answer your question.
Yes, that's what I said.
Savannah Evans in TNA is someone that the fans are starting to kind of get a better grasp of. I've been in roles, bodyguard roles, just kind of a big menace, basically. So I'm here to tear down whatever's in my way, grab any opportunity that's there, and just be a menace.
Well, I know that you have gone after the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. Mm-hmm. In fact, you've done it twice that you've gone after them, and twice you lost. So what is next for you?
That.
So what's next?
Oh, well, seeing as, the titles have eluded me, still gunning after those world tag titles. The knockouts division is crazy right now, so we're gonna keep going for it. And who knows, maybe the knockouts world title too.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one last question before Teddy hops back in here. You got you have a nickname. I'd like to know where it came from. The Cannibal.
Yes, the cannibal, because I'm ferocious, I'm tenacious. I'll fight anybody and I'll eat them alive. That's the basis of the cannibal. That came about. I was originally in an all women's group with Big Swole and Devin Nicole out of Georgia, and we were the sexy young caramels, because we were all light skinned ladies. So we wanted to kind of take that group on the road. It ended up disbanding. We didn't actually get it out there as much as we wanted, but I like the initials SYC. It kind of sounds like sick. So I kept it, and I was this sexy young cannibal, and then I just cut it to just the cannibal. No frills, just down to business.
Very cool.
That's great. Right. Well, Savannah, I just want to thank you for taking your time out and coming on the show with us today. I just wanted to talk to you, and I'm just so happy for you once again that everything is looking good for you. And then thank all those guys over at Impact, for taking care of you. And you got a big weekend next weekend at WrestleCade. I'm going to be there, so I'm going to make sure I get over to your events if I can and try to be a part of that. And Mac is also going to be right there with us too. So we're going to have ourselves a hell of a time in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Savannah, one more time, thank you so much. And then for the people that don't really know, Savannah Evans is really my baby mama.
I thank y'all, and I'll see y'all at WrestleCade.
Sounds good. See you later, Savannah. Welcome back to Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, MacDavis, along with WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. And Teddy, I enjoyed that with Savannah Evans. If you haven't had a chance to see Savannah, watch TNA Impact Wrestling. She's incredible. She's a lot of fun to watch, and I can see why she is catching on so hot right now, Teddy.
Well, she wants it, man. She's been around for a long, long time, man, and nothing has discouraged her. You know what I mean? And so when you got a person like that, man, they're gonna fight for what they want, and she's been fighting, and finally, things are coming good for her.
All right, I got a couple of announcements here. Actually, we were going to talk about something.
I was trying to get the word. I think things are coming together for her. I couldn't think of together, so I said things are coming good. How dumb is that?
Yeah, well,
all right, we just gonna keep on.
And I'm not going to edit that out either. That's staying right there.
I want you to keep it in there because I got to let the people know, because somebody's going to hear that and they're going to say, "What did he?" So I'm just yes, that was dumb. That was very dumb.
All right, one of the first announcements I want to make is that next week, as we are heading to Wilmington, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're in Wilmington, we're in trouble. But when we head to Winston-Salem next Thursday, which is Thanksgiving Day, in the afternoon, Teddy and I are going to attempt. I'm not promising anything. Just watch social media. But we're going to attempt to go live on the road as we're traveling down the interstate, headed towards North Carolina. We can take all your questions there. In fact, if you want to get some of those questions in early, leave them in the comments right down below. So we'll have some that we can take with us that we know for sure we can read as we're going down the highway. And also, if you want to join us live, you can ask those questions there, because Teddy will actually be there with his phone watching and reading your questions as I drive, because I'm driving Miss Daisy. So
okay. All right. Well, that's all right. That's all right. Miss Daisy has earned her time, okay?
You're damn right. You're damn right. You were the driver behind that wheel for many years.
Oh, 30 years.
Now, the other thing is, I do want to go down this list. We don't have a lot of time, but in case you're wondering who's going to be appearing at WrestleCade this year, along with Teddy and I, because everybody's there just to see Teddy and I, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the other names of people you can see, and this is not everybody. I just went through and sampled names as I was going through the list. Abdullah the Butcher, Al Snow, Alicia Fox, Andrade El Idolo, Arn Anderson, Andrade. And you know who Andrade is? Well, you don't watch AEW. What
I heard that name though before. Andrade,
that's Flair's son-in-law.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Then we have Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, Billy Gunn, Boogeyman. He'll be there, so we'll be able to see Boogeyman while we're up there. CJ Perry, and for those of you who don't know who CJ Perry is, she used to be Lana in WWE, and she still looks as good as she did back then. Chavo Guerrero will be there. Devon Dudley, somebody we've had on the show before, will be there.
That's my baby.
Yeah, man, we're going to have to stop by and see. There's several names on here we're going to have to stop by and go say hello to. I see Demolition will be there. EC3, the new NWA champion, will be there. Effie will be there. Hey, Teddy, have you ever had a chance to work with Effie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's hilarious. This guy is hilarious. All right, let's see. Enzo will be there. Eric Bischoff, who's been on the show as well. We'll see him while we're up there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Matt and Jeff Hardy will be there as well. Hollywood Haley J, who was from the Al Snow show that was out just recently, that was kind of following her career around. She'll be there. Jake the Snake Roberts. There's so many. I'm not going to even get through these, Teddy. Jerry Lawler, Ron Simmons, Scott Steiner, Mickey James, Melina, Mandy Sachs, who was Mandy Rose. Every name you could possibly think of is going to be in North Carolina this coming weekend, or actually the weekend of the 24th, 25th.
And tell them don't forget Savannah Evans will be rocking there too. She's got several things going, so y'all can come out and support Savannah as well as me and Mac. We'll be there live with the podcast, and I'll be doing other things too. So y'all come out, man, holler at us, player.
And we hope to see you live as we travel down the road. Again, watch that feed on our social medias, because as soon as we know for sure we're going to do it, we'll pop it on social media, so you know. Could be something. It could be let's not call it a crash, because that's not a good term when we're driving down the road. So I'm MacDavis. That is WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and this has been Road Trip After Hours.
Why do I do this with him? I have no idea. Holla.